Hey, y'all, welcome to Happy Trails podcast. I'm going to preempt this episode real quick just to explain something to you guys. And since I'm the guy that edits this, I can do this stuff and Matt can't say anything about it, man. Right? So we all know about Matt's. If you've been listening, you know about Matt's IT issues. Well, of course, he had some freaking IT issues again this time around. His microphone didn't pick up real well, or it didn't connect, and he was using a computer microphone or something. I don't know. So he's a little muffled. I cranked it up as much as I could on the edit and did my best. But please say a prayer for Matt and his IT stuff. And that's all. There's a great episode. You guys are going to love it. A lot of super information in there. Enjoy. Happy trails.
Bomba data, 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 data, bomba data.
Oh boy, you guys, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Our new intro. Our new intro.
Hey, thank you to the Atomic Punks out of Southern California. Let me tell you, these guys are awesome. They're a Van Halen cover band. I don't know. I think they're better than Van Halen.
That sounded fantastic.
Dude, are you kidding me?
I was like, wow.
My buddy Brian King Kong Geller is David Lee Roth in the group.
Nice.
He does the high kicks and everything, man.
Does he?
Yeah, he must stretch out or something, because I pull a groin doing that.
Does he cold plunge though?
No, nobody cold plunges like me.
How about you and your son, John?
Well, all of them. And hey, Ann's even gone in, I think, 3 times now.
Really?
Yeah, how about that?
Wow.
Are you looking forward to that when you come to the house?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, we went all in and bought the real tub.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I ordered it last night.
Does it have it cools itself so you don't need the ice?
Refrigerated unit, yeah. So it's like a deep freezer, dude.
Yeah, man.
Because I'm tired of spending $10 a day and having to go get ice.
Ice and time is money. All that time you spent going to get ice could be.
Who's got your money?
Who's got your ice?
Who's got your ice for money? Exactly. Exactly.
Well, that'll be good. That'll be all set up and ready to go when I get there here in November.
Yeah, you'll be good for November. Hell, we could probably just go in the pool at that point, but who knows?
Hey, we've had some good weather out there.
Nice you weather. Never know. Hey, I like the scruff, man. I like the look. You
well, it's
coming off of your trip.
It's kind of annoying, but to me, but that was the biking trip I did last week across Vermont with my brothers. 280 miles. Lots of gravel roads we rode on. It rained a lot of the time, so we had to deal with that.
What's Vermont?
Most of the locals said, "Oh, I'm sorry, the weather's terrible. It's really humid and it rains so much here."
What's in Vermont? Like,
what's in Vermont?
What are they known for?
Maple syrup.
Riding?
Maple syrup.
Maple syrup.
You should have seen. We'd be biking on these gravel roads. And you see all these big foresty areas and all these trees. And there's these tubes running all over the place, miles and miles of tubes. And we're like, I assume that's for collecting sap, and so apparently the sap drains into that, and the sap I guess is really runny. I'm like, there's no way they can get this much. I mean, you were talking about miles of tube. We're like, they really get this much sap, and does it really run? Apparently so. Apparently it's really runny, and it was kind of fascinating. So I got to research a little more on that just for fun.
Yeah, but it sounds like fun.
Yeah, they have some ski resorts there too. Some smaller ski resorts, but they're fairly well known for East Coast for skiing. And the people were super nice. They were Iowa nice.
Did you have some nice food while you were traveling?
More so beer. We had some breweries. Food. Yeah, every beer's a sandwich. That's
I have a motto that says America, we grow beer. Yeah, it's real.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
So yeah, it was a super awesome weekend or week long trip, and always good to be with the brothers and have that opportunity to hang with those guys. They're so awesome. We had fantastic time. So not everybody's cup of tea though,
Hey, tomato.
Right. I mean, not everybody cold plunges either.
Yeah, some people are just stupid and do that.
How's that going? What kind of results we got? You getting?
See,
It's been a
so
couple weeks.
here's the results. 2 weeks, I measured Monday, only 4 pounds down, which was kind of a disappointment for me.
Yeah.
But 4 inches, Blaine, 4 inches off of my stomach.
Wow.
And 2 inches off of my chest.
Dang.
So there's some fat being lost somewhere, which is when you get as big as me, that's a good thing. So I'm happy with that. We're going to see what happens with you each week.
Yeah.
So I like doing it. It's a challenge. It's fun. I get to do it with my family. And, they say a family that cold plunges together stays together.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard that saying before.
Years ago. I'm
it
sure.
It was a thing a long time ago. And then it's starting to come back.
So what's John have to say about it, since he's not like huge? He's like a skinny dude.
Yeah, but he gets in for 5 minutes. I stay in for 10 because
yeah, you're up to 10 minutes now.
I gotta stay 10, man, because I need to eat as much of that stuff away as possible. He does it more for recovery, but
okay,
it's still good for him. He enjoys it. But hey, speaking of recovery, welcome back everybody to Happy Trails to you.
Happy trails.
We're here to talk about multifamily real estate and how we can help bring passive income and better income to you and your family. So if you're a dentist watching, so you can get the hell away from the dental chair and not have to work so much, and maybe ease up in the chair or even get away from it completely. But the goal here is to learn together, and through anything that we learn in teaching. And this is your first time watching us, you're welcome. And you'll get some information, and you'll probably laugh a little bit. Who knows?
Yeah. I hope so. That's kind of how we roll. We just kind of off the cuff. We're kind of honest people. We just, we claim we don't know anything, which is accurate.
True.
And
truthful.
We're just here to, again, learn alongside you guys too. So you guys certainly can teach us some stuff as well. Hopefully, like I said, we'll all grow together and change our lives. And that reminds me of a story. Quick, I wanted to kind of share. When I was in Vermont, we were at a hotel. We stayed at some hotels on our route. So we biked from one hotel and bike 40, 50 miles or whatever, and stay at a different place. And so we carried all our gear with us. And so we're in this fairly nice hotel, and I can't remember what town it was, but they had a kind of a half Starbucks, half breakfast cafe sort of thing. They had a Starbucks sign, but it wasn't like a true Starbucks, right? And it was in the hotel, so they made some food, and it was nice, pretty nice place. I was like, cool. And so I go up and I order a breakfast sandwich or something, and get a coffee. And the lady behind, was really nice and polite and very helpful. And she, excuse me, and she's like, she goes, well, that'll be $400 or whatever it was.
Wow.
But no, she goes, that'll be 17 or whatever. And she goes, and if you can spare a little bit extra for me, my life sucks.
Wow. That's
and I sat and and she was really kind of very positive and had kind of a good feeling about her, good energy about her. And she said that, and I just sat there and I'm like, okay, two things. Number one, why does your life suck? And and then my second thought was, why don't you do something about it?
Right.
And and then I'm like, there's such, and it's all on her. I would say it's a mental block. It's her mental thought process. That's what she's thinking. She's thinking, I have no other options. And I felt really bad for her because we just recently celebrated the 4th of July, the land of freedom, and that's and all the options we have, and we can do a lot of things despite our government. But you can move wherever you want. There's all sorts of options you got out there. And I kind of felt bad for her. And that's kind of one of the reasons we're here is to change people's mindsets maybe a little bit about what's potentially out there for them, what they can do, how they can help their families, help other families, financially. And you can, if you want to, put your mind to it. You got to work at it. and get it done. But yeah, that was kind of a downer moment for me. I felt bad for this lady. Like I said, she was a nice looking lady and super friendly. And I'm like,
What'd you do?
your personality is, well, I had to get on my bike and ride here. I gave her a nice tip and told her she was great and have a good day. But it'd be nice to. Again, it's like you kind of want to help people, right? And so there's a lot of different ways you can help people, and hopefully this podcast is one of them.
There's people out there, and this that obviously, hey, can you help me? Because I don't know how to help myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the reality is, this is why we started this podcast, Blaine. And this. This is exactly why we started this. Is how do we help ourselves and each other, and how do we help our friends? And outside of the influence of our friends, how do we help other people grow, be better, do better, create some wealth for themselves? And this is really the avenue that we've chose to do that in. And the real estate is just something that we get to play in, and we're fortunate enough and blessed enough to be able to do that. But because of where we are at in the current dental space, but what a great way to reach other people, man. That's a cool message.
Yeah. Well, so yeah.
Check this out. Now that you say that, this is my office, my practice consultant. Her name is Lauren Andreas. She's awesome, and you haven't had the privilege of meeting her yet, but this is something she gave to me and Ann a while back. So I want you to see this. See if you can read that.
Nope. Hang on. I wonder if I could get. Now you read it to me.
It says what
everybody wants to hear it.
Have control of.
Oh, okay.
What I have control over. Now watch this. You click the button.
It opens up and it's a picture of you. I see myself.
And that's it.
I have
what I have control over. It's a mirror.
Yeah.
Because all too often people, they just like your friend at Starbucks or the faux Starbucks or whatever you want to call that place. Debbie Downer, hey, help me because I don't know how to help myself. The only thing you have control over is you. Mm-hmm. And to the degree that you want to up yourself and ante up and jump in the game, that's how well you're going to play it. And I, personally, I get it. I think we all fall into little traps, man. We fall into these little valleys that just, hey, I'm comfortable here. I don't really care. I don't want to learn anything new. I'm good. I hate where I'm at, but I'm good. I don't want to do anything to get any better. And man, there's just, all of us get through those times where it just, something hits you one day and you say, geez, I got a friend of mine, Jeff Anzalone. And Jeff, Jeff.
Yep.
And Jeff had an injury. He's a dentist, had an injury that took him out of dentistry for a while. And he had to, claim his disability for a little bit so he could actually get paid. And it caused him to sit back and say to himself, wow, what happens if something happens to me? Like this is so valuable to us right here.
Fingers, our hands.
We lose anything.
Our hands,
we lose
our
anything.
Vision.
What happens?
Yeah, dexterity.
And then we all of a sudden we don't have anything. We're in that boat of, hey, help me because I can't help myself. That's why we're in this game.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing what we're doing. So I love it. I love it. Great segue, nice. If you will.
Sedge. I just snorted. Okay.
I heard it. Hey, what's on tap for today, Blaine?
We are going to talk more about, we talked in past podcasts, we talk a lot about value add multifamily apartments, right? Sure. And we've talked some about, as you add value to the buildings and the property, it'll increase in value. So our talk today is going to dive deeper into the specifics of value add, all the different areas that you can add value to on a complex and make it better for the tenants and make it more valuable. So,
yes, sir.
Yep, that's what we're doing. And I was thinking about this because we got a little list down here. I wrote down to prepare so I wouldn't forget things. And I thought, I'm sure there's a lot of other things out there. If any of you guys out there think of something or go, hey, what about this? Fire away, ask us questions, send them to us. And we may have heard about that. yes or no, and you have experience with that. But we're going to talk to you about all the different ways of the property in San Antonio that we're both involved in. We'll talk about some of the things that has been done there, and a lot of other options too. So let's far away.
One of the cool things about syndications is that, the main intention are we get into these things that are called value add. We've talked about that before. Value add just simply says, hey, we're going to add some value to the property, to the apartment, to the complex, to something that's going to allow the community at large that lives there, number one, because altruistically, we all inherently want to help other people, like mentioned at the top of the hour. So, that's the whole deal. Part of this is about creating a community that you're going to improve this apartment complex that might be a level B or a level C. And we're going to classify it as moving up in the world, so to speak. So we're going to add some things. It's going to add some value to the property. So that way it actually turns and generates more income for you. Or at the end of the time where you refinance or you sell, it actually is worth more money than the purchase. Okay. And the way that we do that is with value add. Can we add some things to this property that make it more valuable inside, outside, more attractive to other people? But again, the underlying thing that we mentioned in most of the podcasts we've talked about is how can we add some value to the people that are living there? Because if we don't generate that sense of community and that sense of being a part of something, it doesn't matter if you make the change and raise the rent, they're just going to move out, right? Exactly. The objective is to have people that stay in the complex that actually love what's happening. And they're like, wow, this is something I wish I was able to afford back when I started. I love that we're doing it here, and it's only going to raise my rent $50. So I'm in for that. So these are things that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. And if they love it enough, they'll invite their friends to come. Say, hey, I got this great place to live. Let's come, hang with me. So that's a great thing. So we're going to talk, we'll start off talking about some of the stuff you can do to the outside. There's inside the apartments, obviously, and then there's outside, and those are the grounds, because most of these buildings and we're investing in or trying to improve, you're talking about multiple buildings, 4 to 10, 20 different buildings that are with a parking lot, interspersed between them, and some grassy areas and that kind of stuff. And so one of the, I think, first things is basically the parking lot, right? So what kind of shape is the parking lot in? And is it concrete? Is it asphalt? Can you refresh it? Do you need to redo it? Or stuff like that. Obviously, it just gives a nice look as you drive into the complex. The first kind of your first impression is what you see in the buildings and what you're driving on, and some of the landscape, right? And so having the parking lot in good shape is I think a good way to increase the value. Now it's not going to get you better rent, right? But if it looks nice, I think the occupancy is going to be better, because people are going to like the way they feel when they drive in there.
Yeah, imagine you're going to buy your first house. Well, when we're all starting out, or whether we're in that capacity to buy a house or not, you still want to live in a place that looks decent. So that's you pull up that curb appeal is something that's attractive to you or not, and you pull up and you drive your car into this giant pothole as you're pulling into the parking lot that, is tore up, and the concrete's in sections. And I'm instantly going to be personally, I'm going to look at that place and go, I don't know, this is for me. Hell, they can't even keep the outside clean. What does the inside look like?
Right.
And imagine what the apartment's going to look like.
Sidewalk's kind of the same way. If you're pushing your baby stroller along and you get stuck on some of the sidewalk, that's because it's all crooked and beat up, and there's holes in it or unlevel. That's that's another thing.
Or you have a really heavy baby.
Yeah.
Your baby's fat.
Is that from experience, Matt?
Oh, my mom. I don't know. She might have said that. I don't know. Whatever.
But yeah, and I think one of the things that you've done, that we've done down in San Antonio, is landscaping. Did you do some landscape work down there?
Yeah, that was big. That was, there was the landscaping around the property in San Antonio was run down. The property owner really took no pride in the complex at all. which is why when we took it over, it was something that we could instantly bring some pride to the people that live there and building that community. The people that are there now that are re-anting their rents and their commitments is fantastic because they are inviting friends in. And we've got some long stay tenants in this particular place that have been there for multiple years. So yeah, I mean, obviously if you landscape, put some sod down, put some mulch down, plant some plants and flowers, I mean, it's obviously going to look so much better than having spotted grass and water drainage and mud and just stuff. It happens. I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. I get it, but it's just neglect. I mean, the simple fact is it's neglect. It's easily fixed, and easily fixing something like that could bring attraction for other people to come into the complex.
Yep. So some of the other nice things that you can look at, obviously a lot of those places, especially down in Texas or Atlanta, Florida, is a pool. Yeah. And I mean, everybody kind of likes a pool, and a lot of these complexes have nice, or have pools, right? And so there's different ways. Some of these are kind of old and run down, and the concrete around it is kind of beat up, and they have old chairs that have holes in them that are sitting around there, and so you can certainly dress that up.
Yeah, I mean, you got a community pool. What's the objective of the community pool? Community pool is meant for the community to use, right? But if you have 2 lawn chairs that have holes in it, no umbrella to sit around at the table, it's 98 degrees, you got no shade, kids want to get in the pool, and you're going to be sitting out there sweating and dying, then you don't want to go to the pool. You're like, no, kids, play your games. I'll turn the air conditioning up. Yeah. So I mean, taking pride in that's a big deal. I think obviously not only is it pool furniture, it's the inside the tile and things like that. The particular one we're talking about in San Antonio that we both have invested in, it was a matter of going in, and the furniture outside was run down. Then we had some tiles that were off, the concrete. Just some easy fixes, guys. This is value add. This is taking pride in your complex. Again, not something you're going to raise the rent for, but something that will definitely look forward to raising the rent for because of the community at large. Yeah, I think a big one outside of that, Blaine, is the privacy fencing.
Yeah, that's
privacy
a good one
yards.
too.
That's a really big deal. If you have a complex on the ground floor, and let's say you have a pet, that's one of the things that if automatically, if you have a pet, the rent is obviously higher for those that have pets than those that don't, because accidents happen, wear and tear naturally is a little bit more with an animal as opposed to not having an animal. So you have rent that goes up because you have a pet. Get it? Everybody that rents understands that and knows that. But what do you do when you just want to get away from the pet or give them some time? You got to get on a leash and you got to walk cat, dog, pig, rabbit, whatever it is. I had a pig.
Possum.
It was Squirt. Name was Squirt.
Yes.
We used to walk Squirt around the neighborhood. Yep. So we put the harness and the leash on. I mean, that's really what it is. So what a pain. What if you could open the door and privacy fence and you had a yard that you were kind of taking care of? What do you get? What would that mean to you per month? I think about it myself and I think, wow, would that be worth $25 a month, $50 a month? Hell yeah. Honestly, if I could let the dog out and do its thing without having to walk it, I'd pay money for that. There's people that do that. That doesn't mean every lower floor gets a privacy fence. That means, hey, I'm interested in a privacy fence. What would that cost me? Oh, it only costs $35 a month. Yes. Can we install that in my place? Absolutely, we can. So there's ways to do that and very cost effective and creating a little bit of privacy. Again, that's one of those value adds that's well worth doing. Yeah.
You got to have the room for that. If you don't, I mean, sometimes there isn't a place for that. People have it. So maybe you just build a big dog park. Maybe you have a bigger area by the pool where you have a little gazebo or some picnic tables or something like that, where people can gather, grills and that kind of stuff. You can put in to make it a community. And then you can, if you don't have the option to do individual privacy fences around complexes, you could do a bigger dog park. And again, then the tenants can let their dog run and roam around and have some fun, get some exercise, or their pig. I suppose you could call it a pig park too, right, Matt?
Yeah, you could. You could call it a dog or / pig park. I mean, whatever.
Did Squirt like to play with other dogs?
I don't remember, but I don't really recall that far back. But Anyway, she was mean anyway. Mean.
Oh,
But hey, that's, one of those things is, when you take your dogs to the dog park, do they have dog picnic? Like,
a dog picnic?
do they sit down like at the park and do they dogs? I've never done that. I don't know. Have you done that?
Oh, yeah, they all run together, and then they play with each other, and then they chase balls or whatever. And it's kind of like you and I back in college when we would go out to dinner. I don't know.
Where are we
making
going
this up?
Where are we going with this?
Oh man.
Anyway, you talked about the landscape, you talked about the parking lot. Obviously one of the big attractants when you pull up to a place, the curb appeal, is what does the sign look like? If you've got this little 4x8 piece of plywood that has been hand painted that says
spray paint.
Happy Trails Apartment Complex, all are welcome. I don't know. Maybe we can improve that just a little bit. So that signage change is one that is a big deal. And back 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when they built these B type complexes, signage wasn't a big deal. Nobody even paid attention to that. This is a different day and age. That's one of the first things people see is, hey, can I see this place from the road? And what does that sign look like? Oh, wow. I like that. That's an entry level. So that's a good thing.
So many more options of types of signs too. I mean, back again, when they were built 30, 40 years ago, it was kind of wood signs with paint on them sort of thing. And that was kind of how they rolled. And now you can get plastic. You can get some, probably even like electric ones, light up ones. Yeah. If you want to do something like that to draw attention to your place, and especially if you're near a big thoroughfare, right? And you really want to draw attention, you could do something like that. So you got to take care of the outside of the buildings too. So the siding, whether some of it's brick sidings, there's vinyl siding, there's wood siding, that can all be adjusted, altered, fixed, painted, even if something hasn't been painted in 20 years, maybe just a coat of paint is just going to liven it up and freshen it up and make it look better.
Yeah, for sure. I think a big one in places like Texas that we've experienced already. I know when we graduated dental school, Blaine, and Ann and I drove to San Antonio to start her residency and for me to start practice. One of the big things that I really appreciated having was covered parking.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now, there's a lot of complexes that don't have covered parking, but that doesn't mean I'm going to come in and take over the complex and put covered parking for everyone. Right. I might just take sections at a time and put 10 spaces of covered parking here and 10 spaces here or 5 spaces here, just to see what happens with that before building more. I think you'll find that not everybody is appreciative of covered parking, but quite a few are. And again, how much more would you pay for rent if you had a covered parking space dedicated to your car? So that way you don't have to pull up and go, there's no spots. I got to park around the back.
Reserved.
There's an issue of safety, in the evenings that people think about. I think about Ann if she had to park her car around the corner, the kids, that kind of thing. So again, I think having a reserved parking space that's covered means an awful lot. That's another value add.
Yeah. Actually moving forward, you're going to probably have to do some electric parking spots too. So you could do a covered thing. You could put solar panels on top and use it as a charger for electric vehicles, because every ad I see on TV is for electric vehicles, except for, even like pickups. I mean, everyone is all about EVs. So whether you like them or not, and there's a question about how efficient they are, but they're coming. They're coming. They're awesome. I have one. You don't listen to your wife. She doesn't know what she's talking about. My Tesla rocks, but
I have a 69 Camaro.
I have a 2001.
It eats gas when I just touch the pedal.
Yep. It sure does.
No, you know what? You touched on something that we've talked about before, Blaine. Solar panels. Yeah. Solar panels not only bring energy down to chargers, but let me tell you something. There's tax advantages to having solar.
Very much so.
There's write-offs. Again, yes, this
tax
is a benefit.
Credits.
Tax credits. This is a benefit to the patrons and the tenants of the apartment complex, solar has an advantage to the people that are running the complex. Again, tax credits, anything that's going to help save on the bottom line for you to earn money back, to get a decrease in tax that you're spending, tax expenditure. Let me tell you, that just brings more income to those that run the deal and own the place. So those are great.
Yep. Another thing that kind of on the outside that I've learned about, and it kind of blew me away. Easy $10 a month for valet trash.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, and it just, like, what the heck's that? But you know how that there's usually a big dumpster down the block at the end of the street or whatever. And so a lot of these people have to walk their garbage, I don't know, 100 yards down or, 50 yards or whatever to get to the dumpster. And I mean, it's not that you can't do it, right? But what if you could just put your garbage right outside your door and somebody else would come pick it up and take it over to the dumpster for you? $10 a month, $20 a month. Is that worth it? A lot of people be like, yo, yeah.
Show me the
No
money.
doubt.
Here's my $10.
Right.
Can I do that now?
Can I do that now?
Can I
Yeah,
do that
that's
in my
what
house?
kids see. That's the problem. That's what kids are for. And now they're all grown up and moved out. So you're screwed.
Well, that's why the trash is piling up. I guess I forgot that.
Oh, shoot. But I mean, that's just something I heard of, and it kind of blew my mind. It's like something so simple like that, and not everybody has to do it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and so you just get a maintenance guy who says, hey, every day or every Tuesday or whatever, or, whatever, you go around and do this, and they'll take care of it. And it's, again, not that difficult of a situation, but that was kind of a something that I thought was pretty cool.
I think, something I've seen in a lot of complexes as well, especially the newer ones, is storage space, rentable storage space. So
yeah, there you go.
In a lot of these complexes that you're looking at for purchase to run the deal, there's a lot of empty space. There's a lot of yard space or parking lot space. What if you were to build a small building that housed storage for 5 units in that place? Or what if you built 2 indoor garages that you had actual garage that you could park your car in if you want to go that far? I've seen that as well.
Yeah.
To be able to store things big enough to put a car in. Those are all value add things that at the end of days and end of times is going to reap some huge reward for those that are putting together the deal.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
And one of the things on that you can consider on that when you're doing this, we're not like making this up like, hey, this is the first time this has ever been done, right? So you can look at comps in the area and go, hey, these other 5 places have garage spaces and they're all rented out all the time. Or, maybe you look at them and you go, there's only half of these rented. Maybe that's not worth it for your area. But if other people in that area and your comps are having success at it, it's certainly something you can install in your units and help it better.
Yep.
Help it better. Yeah, that too.
Help it better.
Yeah, we're gonna help it better.
That's Mo Better. That's Mo Better.
Mofo.
That's Mo Better. That's Mo Better.
Mofo.
Hey, something we didn't talk about the pool area, the rec area too, is, again, if one of the things is to create a sense of community within the complex, what about a gathering place at the pool area or the park area that Blaine was talking about? Maybe you have some grills. Maybe you have some barbecue grills that are put in place so you can come have barbecues and hang out. Again, these are things that people don't have in apartment complexes.
Yeah.
But, it's not like you're storing your grill up inside your apartment complex unless you have a balcony. And again, if that's the case, then your insurance for that's going to go up a little bit, that kind of thing. So just if you can think about anything that's going to add value, any benefit that's going to be to a tenant, anything, rec center inside, we talk about rec center. And what if we rec center, we put treadmills and gym, and what if we put some equipment in there that was worthwhile so people don't have to pay for an external gym? They can stay at home and work out here and build a sense of community and use the space that is possibly there. That's another great thing to do.
Yep. Anything else on the kind of external part of you got, Matt? I think
I really don't.
I think you covered
I think
everything.
a rope swing. I think if there's a tree and you have a rope swing.
I'm thinking the next big thing is going to be like a community polar plunge pool.
Maybe.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
That you could just cold plunge with your buddies, and lose inches.
Said no one ever.
You go first. I'll go next.
Can you imagine you're sitting with your buddies? Hey guys, let's go cold plunge together.
Let's cold plunge.
Okay, let's go, Blaine.
Let's turn the cooler on, turn the chiller on, make sure it's cold.
You know what? I can't wait for you guys to come out. You're gonna be like, dude, are we cold plunging tomorrow?
We're gonna
be so into it.
We're gonna record that and we're gonna put it on our YouTube channel.
You're gonna be so into it. I'm telling you, it's fun. It is fun.
Happy trails, cold plunge.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Our cold plunge is called shrinkage. All right. What about inside? So we got the outside, right? You pull up, we got all that stuff. What are some things that are going to happen inside the units, Blaine?
Well, the number one where people, and this is one of the things my dad taught me, people gather in the kitchen. I mean, anytime you have people over and you've experienced it and I've experienced it at your house, we hang out in the kitchen a lot, right? And again,
that's where the food is.
That's where the food is, right? So, maybe in some of these places, you just want the kitchen to look nice. You're looking at appliances, you're looking at new cabinets, maybe not even new cabinets, but just refresh them, paint them. The trend now is to have everything kind of white or maybe a little off-white. But you can take an old oaky 1980s cabinet, paint it, put new fixtures on it, and make it look a lot nicer.
Counters.
Countertops. Probably a lot of those are old laminate things that have totally worn out, right?
Yeah.
Do some granite, do some quartz, whatever hot around that area. I mean, any kind of and you don't even have to go that fancy. There's some sort of there's some other stuff you could do. What I can't remember what it's called. That isn't quite as expensive as quartz, but it still looks nice. It wears a lot better than the old laminate stuff.
Yeah. Silicate. I think
silicate
is what you're talking about. Silicate.
Is that it?
I think so. You can do tile.
We'll go with that tile. I did a tile countertop in my one house. I did myself. It looked really awesome.
There you go. See, you could have a really awesome counter if you have Blaine put his skills to work for you.
If you want me to do it, call me and ask me and I'll tell you no. Okay. So
next.
Obviously the fixtures, the like sink and stuff like that, everybody knows about the 20, 40-year-old sinks. It's a little faucet that comes up, and you can have, I don't even know what they're called. You guys all know what I'm talking about. Getting a new kitchen sink, and maybe the sink itself, and maybe just a faucet.
Well, even the sinks have changed, man. They're so different than what they used to be.
Oh yeah,
touchless faucets, where you kind of
there you go.
You put your arm up, it runs. Anything like that. You bring in a tech package like that to your sink, man. People get attracted to stuff. They're like, oh my gosh, you have those in there. So
yeah.
That's obviously a big deal. The bathroom fixtures is another. If it's going to be in the kitchen, it's going to be in the bathroom. New lighting fixtures, sink fixtures, bathtub fixtures, all that.
That's just so easy. Easy to change a light fixture, and it just updates it. It makes it look so much nicer. It's crazy.
Yes,
I've done that around my house.
Yes, sir.
Too. But it's simple. And you touched on the tech stuff, right? Yeah. The faucets that are automatic. There's also on the tech thing, you also have, how about unlocking your door with Bluetooth?
Yeah.
Or locking your door with Bluetooth.
Now.
Yeah, it's huge. Or maybe a camera, a door camera.
Yep.
So, you can see who's out there. If somebody's knocking and selling Girl Scout cookies, you can go, oh, hey, I like Girl Scout cookies. I'm going to answer this door.
Yeah. Only if they have the peanut butter ones.
Thin mints.
Oh, well, Thin
Oh.
Mints. No, that's mint. That's not peanut butter.
Well, that's
What are
Girl
the ones
Scout
with the
cookies,
stripes,
bro.
the zebra stripes? What are those with the
Yeah,
coconut? What
the
are those
coconut
called?
ones. Those
Yeah,
are
what are those
badass.
called? Those are so good.
I don't know, but those are my favorites.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
not
they're
eating those
secretly a lot of
anymore.
people's favorites.
Yeah, I'm not eating those anymore.
No.
But if you brought me a box, they might disappear.
What if I eat them in front of you while you're cold plunging?
Then yeah, you're a good friend. You're a good friend for that. I appreciate that.
Shoot.
Hey,
Uh,
another way too inside is rental washer and dryer. There's some
yeah.
apartment complexes that externally have washers and dryers in one specific place. Again, that's a value add. You can put into one room downstairs a facility that has 4 or 5 washers and 4 or 5 dryers, of which you either pay for it with a credit card in advance. Again, money to the GP, money to the house. Or you can actually rent a washer and dryer for the apartment complex for each individual apartment that wants them. So
Yeah.
you could bring that into the tenant as well.
Yeah. Some apartment complexes have the setup to have a washer and dryer, installed in them, and some don't. And so, yeah, you can buy them and as the owner and install them, and people will pay, I don't know, $50 a month, let's say,
Yeah.
to have their own washer and dryer. That way they don't have to haul their crap 3 stories down to the community one. And that's again a nice value add.
Again, people pay for modern convenience.
Yeah,
That's just simple. Anybody listen to this right now, you know that you're listening to this going, heck yeah, I'd have that. Heck
Yeah.
yeah, I'd do that. Heck yeah, I'd do that. So if you took your existing apartment complex and you did all that to your place, how much more would you be paying in rent? $200-300? Well, rather than pay $200 or $300, maybe I'm going to look for this place down the street that actually has those comps included. The rent's $100 more rather than 300. 100 times 400 units, 300 units, 200 units, whatever it is, 1,000 units. You can see where the money starts to come in and why they call it value add.
Yep. We also got flooring. Don't forget about that.
Oh yeah.
When I was growing up in Dysart,
Yeah.
we had carpet in the kitchen.
Wow.
How about that?
Yeah,
How cool is that?
cool. It's cool.
They were little carpet squares.
What's interesting about that is everybody's kitchen had a different pattern where they dropped the spaghetti.
Well, ours were they were orange and yellow carpet squares, and it was kind of alternating.
Ooh.
And so so you could, it had its own, and there were patterns on them, so you could drop spaghetti, and you couldn't really tell.
Yeah.
That's how that was forward thinking back then.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Just individualized.
Plus, you could just pull one up and put another one down.
Yeah. Little Johnny gets sick. Yeah. He yaks in the kitchen. Pull it up, put another one down, man. Piece of cake. This is great. I don't know why we changed from that. This is where it should be.
So most people enjoy some sort of either industrial laminate or wood flooring and stuff like that. So you get that in a kitchen. I personally still like a little carpet because I like my feet to be warm and soft when I'm walking on it. But most people like like I said, a laminate flooring, even in the living room, that kind of stuff. And again, it's so much easier to clean up that I hate clean carpet. So,
and for not that you ever want to have turnover in your complex, but should you have turnover, those are things that make the cleansability of the place so much easier.
Yeah.
It's just
long-term
usage.
Minimal.
The other thing is, with these vinyl floorings, they almost look like real hardwood. Everything that's out there has been made to be easy to put down, but have it look so difficult to put down and so rich. It's just one of those things that is an easy value add for any complex.
Yeah. This isn't the vinyl of the 70s and 80s, man. This stuff is awesome stuff. And I've worked with it, and I put it down in a few different areas. And it's pretty darn simple to put down. It's not overly expensive. And again, long-term maintenance, that stuff's going to last way longer than carpet, right?
Yeah.
Again, you get a dog in an apartment complex, somebody lives there 2-3 years, or a cat, his freaking cat pee smells like whatever. Nasty. But you get a cat in an apartment, you're getting rent, but you're going to have to tear that up. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, it's just probably going to happen, right? But you get some of that hardwood flooring and stuff like that. That's easy to clean, much easier to maintain.
Yeah, how many times do you have to clean a carpet before you got to replace it? That's a
Right.
thing. Which by the way leads to a little segue. Is on the call last night, on the Sunrock call last night, the coach's corner. They were talking about one thing, Blaine, that I don't think you got on and heard in the
No, I wasn't able to.
And what they were talking about, I'd never thought about this before. So again, if I own the complex and you're either paying for utilities through the complex itself rather than start your own electric, where you got to call the electric company, what happens when a tenant moves out and you're waiting for another tenant to move in? What happens is you got to go in there, you got to clean the apartment complex or the apartment itself. You got to clean the carpet. You got to make sure everything is cleaned and dried and there's no dust and all those different things. Well, what if the crew that goes in there says, God, it's hot outside. You know what? I'm going to turn the air conditioning down. So, you're in San Antonio, Texas. It's 99 degrees. It's a cool day and they're hot. So they turn the AC down to 65 and they're working in the comfort of that apartment. And then they forgot to turn it up. So then it sits there vacant for, I don't know, 7 days, 14 days, whatever it is, any amount of days. And it's just blowing air conditioning the whole time. That's money. I never thought of that before. And it's because you've got to go in there. You've got to show that apartment. You've got to do some other things to the apartment. Again, you're paying for that as a GP, as the general partner, the owner of the facility. That's on you. Again, your management team is going to be the ones that are going to be in charge of that, which is why it's so critical to have a proper management team on each of these deals. So that way they can keep track of all those things. If John's going to go in and clean the carpets of that apartment, we're not turning the AC down to 65, John. You're going to keep that at about 84 and suck it up with a rag. I don't know, but clean the apartment and get out. You know what I mean? And somebody's got to follow through and check on that. So again, the management team is critical with that, or your boots on the ground person is going to be somebody's going to police that as well. So what other value adds we got?
Sometimes there's like you at one point in time, earlier today, you mentioned there's some extra space and that kind of stuff. And, if maybe you have a complex and there's a really large maintenance area that is just storing junk and doing nothing. And it's just been there for 40 years and nobody's even paid attention to it. Maybe it's big enough to build it out. You could build it out. You could remodel it, build it out into another unit. So instead of having 120 units, now you have 121 units, potentially an extra $1,000 a month right there.
Yeah.
So that's a value add to create more space, just being efficient with that.
For sure.
I know some people have taken fairly large efficiencies. And so if you don't know what an efficiency is, it's basically an apartment that has a kitchen and the living room, bedroom is the same room, right? Yep. There's no separate bedroom.
What? What?
Yeah. And so if it's set up properly, maybe you put up a wall and a door, and then all of a sudden you have a one bedroom versus an efficiency. And one bedrooms rent for more than an efficiency.
Yeah.
And it's nicer to have a separate room. And so you can do that if the layout is in the proper shape and it works for you and it's big enough. You take 10 units, you convert them to one bedrooms, you can get $100 more a month. That's another $1,000 a month you're creating for the GP team and the owners.
Absolutely. I think another little value add is we talked about the complex and pulling up to it, the curb appeal. The rental office, Blaine, this is as simple as when you step into the facility, you're going to talk to somebody about, hey, I want to talk to you about possibly renting an apartment here at this complex. Can you tell me more about it? They walk in and it looks like the closet, or it's run down and there's, again, maybe the carpet that was in your kitchen is now in this place. That's the squares. Maybe a problem. So we want to make sure that rental room, that rental space, the management space, the office space looks appropriate for what it is that you're trying to convey rent wise. So you want to have nice people in there, the management team. You want to have a good looking facility that when they walk in, they're like, wow, this is phenomenal. That's really why, if you've ever been in an apartment complex, it's a class A type apartment complex where you walk in and go, wow, I'm at the Biltmore House in North Carolina. Yeah, that's why. And they're doing that because they want you to realize we're here for you. This is what you have potential to live in. Possibly. So that's a big deal. That's a big
it
deal,
is. And you go back to our dental offices, we're both dentists, right? And I've seen all gamuts of, dental office reception areas. Mine's extremely nice. And I made sure it was very comfortable. Gorgeous. And, obviously Matt's is too, because we want to present a nice energy and a nice feeling for people when they walk in. And I've been to some dental offices that, again, look like they're in the 70s. And, what does that tell you about the work that's done or the people that's done? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But if something hasn't been updated in 40 years and you walk into a dental office, I'm like,
I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of restorative and cleanings I'm going to get here, So it's the same thing. You drive up and there's a nice new parking lot, or at least the lines are painted well. The landscaping is well groomed, and you walk into an office and it's well kept and just, it doesn't have to be overly fancy, but it just has to look nice and updated. And that's just, again, that's going to attract the type of people to that community that you want. And it's, it's going to make it mo better. Hey,
and we talked about having pool parties and barbecues and stuff like that. Hey, just coming off of the 4th of July, which, by the way, happy 4th. We didn't wish you a happy 4th last week because we weren't here, but happy 4th to everybody. What do you do on the 4th? What does almost every red-blooded American do on the 4th? Drink and barbecue.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, right? So again, creating some of these events for the complex, 4th of July, hamburgers and hot dogs for the complex. Just bringing a group of people together that take pride in this facility, trick or treating at Halloween, maybe a white elephant gift exchange at Christmas, whatever it is. There's so many things that can be done to help create community. And again, the altruistic side of wanting to get involved in something like this is not just to make money, it's to give to other people that are in need. And what a great thing to create a sense of community that you helped build. That's got to feel good inside to help house 200 families, 200 individuals, whatever it is. It feels really good to be able to do that. You provided that housing that they take pride in. All of these value add things we're talking about are the things that make it worth the rent being a little bit more than what it was before, when it was run down and looked like crap and felt like crap.
Yep. Bam. You said it.
You got anything else?
Okay. Not at the moment. Like I said, if anybody else out there listening says, hey, I got some thoughts, let us know. Obviously we're open for ideas. We want to learn here too. So
these are just things we've learned and things we've seen. And hey, we've got that Sumrock event, the AIM NatCon 2023 coming up in August. Anybody that might be interested in learning more about this and jumping on board with Blaine and I and learning more together and being a part of our team, so to speak, big event in Dallas, the Brad Sumrock AIM NatCon 2023.
You know what, Matt? You know what I'll do?
You're going to throw up a link.
I'll put a link.
Where's
I'll put a link below. I'll put a link below.
Click below. Wait, he's putting it over there. Click below over there.
We all know about Matt's IT issues, and so we're not letting him do that.
No.
But I think I can probably figure out that link.
Yeah, thing. That'd be great.
And so whether it's on Spotify, there should be a link associated with that, or Apple, or YouTube. Again, I think maybe we ought to get our YouTube channel rolling a little more.
We got to get that moving, because listening to us is one thing, but seeing us,
right? And look
at Blaine. Look at that beard.
I got beard.
Vacation beard. I like it.
Vacation beard.
I think you need to run it for a while.
My daughters don't like it. They want me to shave it.
Who cares about your daughters?
I don't really like it either.
They're in college. They're in college. They're not at home.
I
Does
don't
your
know. It's
wife,
kind of
does your wife like it?
she doesn't care. She's like,
Then I'd
you
go with it.
you do what you do.
You do you.
I'm like, oh, okay.
I think it needs to be a little longer, man. Like I could see it, like let go a little more.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought you were going to be cleanly shaven. You got a
Well,
little
I've been on vacation week.
fluff.
You know, here's my thing.
You're always on
Last-
vacation.
Last year, Ann took off for the 4th, the whole week off. I worked the second half of the week. So when at the end of the year, my team and I, we got together. We said, well, they're off, so we're going to take the week off too. So we took the week off. Guess who
Bam.
went to work this week? My wife worked this week and worked this week. So I've been home. So just John and I by ourselves. So this is my vacation, Stubble. I'll be
Yeah.
clean shaven next week. Don't you worry about it, pal.
Don't you worry about it.
Don't you worry about that. It's mo better when it's shaved.
Mo better.
Mo better.
Right on.
Hey, man. So that should wrap up our episode of Value Add.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
in the coming weeks, we're going to get a little bit more technical savvy on you and probably share some screens showing some.
Yeah. Which is why the YouTube channel is going to be so important. I think the YouTube channel is, I think there's some Happy Trails out there, but this is Happy Trails Real Estate. I think if you search that, that's where you'll find it. And if I remember him as smart enough, maybe I'll put the link to that as well.
The link below?
Down below.
Over
Just
there.
check and like us, share us. Remember, we're here to help people. Let's share it with your friends. Let us know. I mean, you never know who might be interested in this.
Hey,
whether you like
and
them or
once
not.
again, on the way out, want to give a big shout out to our friends, the Atomic Punks.
Atomic Punks, baby.
Southern California. Check them out on YouTube. If you're anywhere in Southern California, or maybe even a couple places around the United States, and they're coming to your area, do yourself a favor and go. You will have a blast, which is different than a Blaine's.
Blaine's, Matt's.
I'm seeing Blaine's. When am I coming to see you next week?
It's about a week and a half.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to podcast directly from, is it Robbins, Iowa?
No, we'll be podcasting from Delhi.
Oh, Delhi.
Yeah. We'll see if we can roll with a different background. We'll be probably at Delhi. I don't think we can probably maybe we can do it on the boat.
I think that's risky.
But
we're going to give it a whirl, people. Hey, what a great week. Happy 4th to everybody, even though it was just past. Just want to say, everybody, thank you for tuning in. And what do we say, Blaine?
Happy trails.
Happy trail.
Appreciate you guys.
Peace.
2, 3. Happy trails.